How did we arrive at the current crisis in the Middle East? That's a question we all find ourselves asking. Let's take a step back to January 2023, when U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken visited Israel. His trip was marked by a tribute to Israeli victims of recent attacks, a reaffirmation of U.S. commitment to Israel's security, and a call for calm and de-escalation. Yet it's interesting that his visit didn't explicitly address the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Instead, it focused on countering Iran and maintaining the status quo at holy sites in Jerusalem. This approach of urging restraint without actively engaging in negotiations was a significant turning point. Fast forward to December 2021, tensions were already brewing with Iran's continued advancements in its atomic program. Israel's Prime Minister, Naftali Bennett, was urging Western powers to take a firm stance against Iran. The original deal to curb Iran's nuclear activities in exchange for economic relief, abandoned by former President Donald Trump in 2018, was under intense scrutiny. Israel was advocating for a diplomatic approach accompanied by military pressure on Iran, while Iran was demanding the immediate removal of sanctions. These events, the reaffirmation of support for Israel, the approach to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and the rise of tensions with Iran, set the stage for the current crisis we are experiencing today. Where exactly are we in this crisis now? The Middle East, a region rife with tension, is experiencing a new wave of challenges. The US president has recently expressed concerns over a potential Iranian attack on Israel, heightening the already strained atmosphere. This has led to a ripple effect, with countries like the Netherlands closing their embassies in Tehran, an indicator of the escalating tension. In the midst of this, countries like Ireland and Spain are making strides in a different direction. They are rallying for international support to recognize Palestine as a state. This move, if successful, could significantly alter the political landscape of the region. Air travel too has been affected by the crisis. Airlines such as Qantas are now rerouting flights to avoid Iranian airspace, a precautionary measure reflecting the seriousness of the situation. Adding to the complexities, Hamas, despite being weakened in Gaza, continues to pose a threat. Their control, although diminished, is still a factor to be reckoned with. As we can see, the situation in the Middle East is volatile and fraught with challenges. What could we potentially expect in the future? In the realm of international diplomacy, the Middle East crisis presents a complex puzzle. The potential outcomes are as varied as the factors that influence them. One possible scenario is escalation. With tensions running high, the region could witness an increase in hostilities. The recent warnings of potential attacks and incidents near the Strait of Hormuz, the car explosion in Damascus, and the expected Iranian attack on Israel are indicators of a volatile situation that could intensify. Alternatively, we could see a de-escalation. The world is urging calm, with countries like Ireland and Spain seeking international support for recognizing Palestine as a nation-state. This could in turn lead to a shift in dynamics, encouraging more diplomatic negotiations and peace initiatives. The role of international diplomacy is pivotal in navigating these turbulent waters. The decisions made by world leaders, especially those in the US and Europe, will undoubtedly shape the course of this crisis. And then there's the prospect of a new agreement with Iran. Despite the challenges, there's a glimmer of hope. President Joe Biden's willingness to re-enter the deal signals a possible path towards resolution. Still, the road ahead is fraught with obstacles, as Iran's demands and Israel's staunch opposition complicate matters. The future of the crisis in the Middle East is uncertain, but what is clear is that the decisions made now will have far-reaching impacts.